What is up, the Trans Brothers Collab? This is Shy, your normal Sundays. Um, Before I actually get into this topic, I want to first quickly update you guys on the auditions, and then get into last week's subject that I missed, then get into this week's subject. We're still going to be doing the auditions. There was some unsureness, I guess you can say, in the group, but after I explained it, people understood. So there's 5 spots open for every, like, pretty much from Monday through Friday. So there's 1 spot for each one of those days open. And like I said, I explained in the video of what exactly the details are for the auditions. I'll put the link down below if anybody's interested. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns about this exact, please message me. Alright? Now, last week's subject was trends in the media, and this week's subject is, well, actually, I'll tackle this week's subject, then I'll tackle next week, the last week's subject. Basically, this week's subject is going to be, seeing people, hold on, let me get the exact, description, I apologize. It's basically, hold on, running into people that don't know you've transitioned. That's what this week's subject is about. So first we're going to tackle that because that's very easy for me, and then we're going to tackle last week's subject. So, running into people that don't know I've transitioned. I pretty much don't associate with anybody who doesn't know I've transitioned. Anybody who's in my life knows I've transitioned. And because I've been on testosterone for almost 2 years, because I legally changed my name now, yes, it's officially happened, I don't really have that issue. If I run into people that know me, they don't recognize me because I don't look how they knew me. And most of the people I'm talking about is either from high school or my neighborhood or whatever. And if they don't know, I don't really out myself because, okay, so let's first tackle and explain to you a little behind that about the not coming out to people and just letting people think whatever they want kind of thing, I guess you can say, if they don't know I've transitioned. Those people would only be people from my neighborhood that have either know my parents or whatnot, and because I still live where I grew up, so it's definitely happens, but I don't really say anything. I just get along with I walk along most of the time. If they see me, I just say hi, nothing really. In all honesty, it's none of their business. They don't need to know. In my opinion, plus, I don't really associate myself with them and whatnot, so I don't have to really worry about, oh god, they don't know I'm trans. So, that's the matter of fact. Because I've lived here my whole life, and I still live here, there's going to be people I'm going to see. But the people I would potentially have to worry about is people from high school. And I did end up seeing, I constantly see people I went to high school with, and every time it happens, they don't even know it's me, so they just walk. Like, they walk past me. And I actually remember one time, just to see the person's reaction, I said, hi, and they were looking at me like, why are you saying hi to me? Um, this is someone I went to high school with, and they're looking at me like, why are you saying hi to me? I don't know you. I said, you know who I am, right? They're like, so I didn't even tell them, but that was pretty funny, pretty interesting. So for me, it's not even a problem. Everybody in my life right now knows I'm trans. Everybody knows I've transitioned or whatnot, and knows where I'm at in my transition. So it's not, I don't know, I guess that's my answer. I don't really have that problem. I don't really run into people that don't know. And when I do, it doesn't matter because I don't talk to them. I don't want to talk to them or whatnot. So it's really interesting because that reminds me of a little story. So recently, when I went to the gay pride parade here in New York City, I ended up basically talking to someone who went to college with someone I went to high school with, and I found out that she's very accepting of LGBT people. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try to start talking to her again. And sure enough, I sent her a message, and her first reaction pretty much was like, wow, like a good wow, but a wow, and was very happy and proud of me and stuff, and that was very much, she was accepting. And through that, I was like, I'm curious what other people from high school would think if I tried friending them on Facebook. And one person accepted it, and it's not even phasing them, in all honesty. And I find it interesting how they're like, how can you not know the difference? So for most of you who don't know, I look a lot a lot different than high school. So anybody who's known me from high school would be like having a heart attack and realize the difference, but they're apparently not. So that's that. But going back to last week's subject, because I feel like since I did miss it, I should tackle it, is trans in the media. So I'm not the greatest at this because I kind of like to stay away from the media and watching it and knowing about it and whatnot. That's just me. But I'm going to tackle the FTM. Acronyms, get them right. Shy, get them right, get them right. Alright, so pretty much from the FTM community, first we're going to start out with TV shows, what I've seen, then movies and whatnot of FTM characters. So on TV, the L Word, Max, which I think they did a horrible job. I won't deny the fact there's stuff with Max that I can relate to, but a majority of it, not really good. So that's the L Word, and then pretty much the only other one I know of as a character, an FTM character, unless there's some other shows that people know of, since I'm in the lovely U.S. And that's the other thing. If you know of any FTMs that are portrayed in movies or TV, not books. I'm not good at reading books, but actually should mention that book. I'll actually end up getting it. It'll take me a second, so I'm gonna apologize about that. But basically, on TV, besides that, only now is Degrassi, which is Adam. And then I know that on a few webisodes, I guess you don't know exactly what you call it. It's basically having TV shows on the web instead of on TV. There's one specific one that used to at least have a trans character, an FTM character, which is Girl Scene. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's good. So those are the three. I definitely prefer how Adam is portrayed on Degrassi as an FTM because it's a lot better of a job. I mean, I know it's different ages and stuff, and I don't know, like, in all honesty, when Degrassi had Adam on there, I was like, oh my god, there's finally an FTM character. Let's see how they pull him off. And in all honesty, I really thought they would do a horrible job because, I mean, I saw the L Word and I was worried that's how they were going to pull it off and that's how they're going to do it. But even through now, he's still on there, and if anybody has seen the episodes and could agree with me, that's awesome. As for other stuff on TV, not really that I know of. People that have a, I don't know, not necessarily a mouth, but like people talk. The main people I think of is Chaz Bono. The other person I think of is, oh god, my brain's going dead. Why can't I think of his name? Oh god. Chaz Bono, and then recently I read an article about, hold on, let me get that pulled up. I apologize. Can't remember whose son, is an FTM. I can't, recently I just was reading an article about it. Give me 1 second. I apologize, this is taking longer than I want. It was on, okay. The son of Warren Beatty, and Annette Bening, their son, who is 20 years old, is an FTM. So there's another person, still can't think of his name. Okay, well the third person, probably everybody knows who I'm talking about, but I can't think of, which is horrible. Trying to think of other FTMs. Oh, there's an FTM that is going to be running for, I don't know his exact spot, in New York City Council. I think his name, give me 1 second, I'm trying to remember his name. I think from what I remember, his name is Warren. Don't really remember. But either way, first name. But there, I know there's an FTM that's trying to get into New York City Council. So there's another FTM. God, I'm trying to remember. I know there's more people, but I can't think of it. As for books, my friend writes more erotic kind of novels, and in her books she tends to portray and tends to have an FTM character. So go her. And if anybody's interested in getting any of the names of them, if you're over 18, feel free to ask me and I will give you the information of the books. The last book I'm thinking of, it does not necessarily portray an FTM, but it's a really good book. Gonna actually get it and try to rethink if there's anything. Oh, and movies. Pretty sure it's called Romeo. It is a German movie, I think. Um, that is a really, really, really good movie and has an FTM in it. So everybody should watch that. Even like in all honesty, it's literally an awesome, awesome movie. One of my fellow FTM friends was asking someone where to watch it, and I'm like, what is it about? And he was mentioning how there's the main character, pretty much the character revolves around as an FTM, and yeah, everybody should see that. There are obviously documentaries, but I'm actually planning to make my own documentary, so you'll see plenty of FTMs. But I'm not going to talk really about it on here because of that. But you know what? I'm not going to get the book because it's too far away. But the basis of the book, it's talking about in general, it's a good book. It's information for trans folks and other people. So can't remember the exact name, so I apologize. But for trends in the media, those pretty much are the people I can think of, and the characters and whatnot. And the only movie I can think of, and then there's just my mind is blank. And I'm pretty sure guys have probably talked about some other people, so that's that. Um, the other thing I want to mention is having to do with trans in the media is what is my opinion on how they portray us or whatever. In honesty, for FTMs, I really think they don't do the greatest jobs, but that's how they kind of want it. I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of, I think, chaos, I guess the word would be, in the community with Chaz Bono. Um, when he did his documentary for Oprah's network, um, and it was basically for many reasons. In all honesty, my opinions on trans in the media, basically of any aspect, that with FTMs at this point, there's something's better than nothing, in my opinion. Yes, I do agree we should be better at portraying, do a better portrayal, but at the same time, something I've really learned with being age Jewish, transgender, um, decent, somewhat religious Jewish transgender guy, that pretty much something is better than nothing. Even if it's a negative or anything, it's better than nothing. At least we're being put out there. And I know probably I'm going to get hated for that, but in all honesty, that's how I feel. Something's better than nothing. Years back, we didn't have anything. We didn't have any, we didn't really have as many allies and as many allies. We didn't have as many trans in the media, so we're actually getting somewhere. I'm talking about specifically FTMs, and MTFs have been in the media a lot longer than we have. So it's a step. It may not be the greatest step, but it's a step. So that's my opinion. And then the other main person I think about FTM wise is Brandon Tina, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get off here, so I stop my mumbling. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.